Hi, my name is Kiera. I'm a dancer, choreographer from LA, Inglewood, and I'm a Christian. My mom used to have a drill team called Westside Dominettes, and I don't know if you guys heard of Tommy the Clown, but he was very popular back then, and some of the people in his group actually were in my mom's drill team. So by the members that were in his group being in her drill team, she got this idea one day to start like this clown group like him. Like she wanted to do another dance group like he had. And so at my 8th birthday party, their moms had basically said, "Oh, it's another dance group over here trying to challenge y'all. So pull up." So I was probably 8 years old. It was midnight. Tommy came to my house. And my mom's group and his group was like battling in the middle of the street, dance battling. So he started this thing called the Battle Zone, and we were Battle Zone 1. So it turned into a movie now. Like, it's really big. Kendrick Lamar just had him and his clowns in the video, but it started like him saying Battle Zone at my birthday party. So it's crazy, like, to know that. My mom just always had me in activities. Like I was in drill team at 2 years old. They have tapes of me, like, on YouTube. And I did like a TV performance with drill team. And then she started her dance group with that, where we battled against Tommy the Clown. And then that's kind of how I got my start going towards the entertainment business, because we started rubbing shoulders with all these different dancers. Clown dancers is what we called them. And then one of the dance moms in our group, she introduced me to my manager. So, my manager had put me in videos with Mariah Carey. That was like the gig that got me like known to a lot of the dancers. And right now they're still posting it on TikTok and calling me this girl. Her name is Meatball. She's on like Baddies, but they keep saying that she's me, and that's me in the video. So it's still getting posted today, and I was like 12. So, I like the Mariah set because I got to actually talk to her, and she told me she did hair. One set I did a commercial for Kool-Aid, and they gave me my own trailer, so that was cool. Like, my name was on there. I just got to see some of the best dancers I've ever seen. Like, I went to Debbie Allen and I did some shows with her. Where she had workshops with dancers like Jabberwockies. They have a show in Vegas right now, and I took workshops with them. She had Dave Scott, who like choreographed for You Got Served, the movie with like B2K and all these different people. She just always had like the top of the top dancers. And then Tommy is like the top in the streets, and my mom's group was like one of the first groups. I just was always introduced to like the elite dancers and choreographers for me to say, okay, I can't be mediocre around these people, because these are like the legendary, iconic people that paved the way. So yeah, I'm the little girl like that got all her cousins together at Thanksgiving and was like, come on, we're gonna do a step for the family. Like, that was just always me. Like, that's how it started. And then I formed a group at 14 years old. It was a BET show called 106 in Park a long time ago. And they had a thing called Wild Out Wednesday. And I went to my dance studio and gathered all the kids that were not like on TV and everything that, because my manager, I'm not gonna lie, you have favorites, manager. So she would favor like the people that booked the jobs. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take the underdogs and we gonna form a group. And like, that's what we did. We formed a group, and I wrote TV shows like Dr. Phil. I think I wrote 106 in Park. I was writing Ellen DeGeneres. Like, I was writing all these people. Like, our dance group wanted to come on there, and 106 in Park actually got back to us, and we were on there. And we did Showtime at the Apollo in New York the same week. So it was just, that's kind of like our group got our big start there. That was big. 106 in Park was pretty big because at that time, everybody watched that. So when our group went on there, we got to like our fan base. We went viral like in the early days, where we had 20,000. Now it's like 1 million people have those type of views, but like we struck like a lot of views with doing 106 in Park. I was with a dance agency when I did like the videos and commercials, but I got dropped because I was in a church coat, which is a whole nother story. Like, I feel like we're gonna be here all day with that. But my agency was calling me, and the pastor told me like, oh, God doesn't want you in the industry. So they called me for like the movie Step Up 3. They were calling me for stuff, and I was saying no, because my pastor said God didn't want me in the industry. So I'm kind of mad, about the stuff that I missed. But I am happy that I found God and I found my way, because I probably wouldn't have. Like, it was a great way for me to get into Christianity. And, my family's not really church-based, so it actually was like a bittersweet. After I stopped clown dancing, they shot a movie. I was so mad because right when I left, they shot an entire movie about the clown and Krump dancing community, which I was a part of that all my life, but I had left. So I was a little homie at like 12 years old in this dance style called Krump. And my mentor, which is our big homie, she was into church. And the guy that created Krump, that was like a part of her squad, which I danced with him with Tommy, which was funny because I ended up bumping back into the main cast of the movie of that style through the church thing and dealing with her. But she took me to the church. Everybody had already talked about it, like saying, oh, it's a cult, this and that. But I'm picturing like they doing goat blood or something. So I'm like, nah, like, like some weird like voodoo stuff. But it wasn't like that. It was a mental thing. So we were in there, I think from when I was 12 to 19, I went to that church and I turned on my whole family. Like, I would be calling them the devil, telling them they worldly, like, like it was deep. We would be in church till 3 a.m, but the pastor would be like, God gave you that job. Like, you know what I'm saying? So who are you to get up and walk out of church because you got to go to work? Like, what? I got to go to work. Like, but he would make it so good, like, to where we didn't feel like we was doing nothing wrong. Like, I started going so much because we would dance on Fridays, rap, sing. We had boyfriends, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was getting married and dating in there. It was nothing but young people in there. It wasn't a lot of adults. So we were kind of brainwashed into believing like, okay, this is church. Mama, you don't go to church. Daddy, you don't go to church. Who are you to tell me anything about God? Like, this is what we supposed to do. All the kids that kind of like had rough upbringings, like, moms was on drugs, or my mom, she wasn't on drugs, but like I had 2 little brothers and my dad was in jail. So she was like, bye, so I'd be with all kind of people during school time, like hopping in windows and getting in car accidents and all kinds of stuff she didn't even know. Like, Mom, I just had a car accident tonight. I didn't tell her. Well, first of all, I knew it was a red flag when they said it was a cult from the beginning, but I was the daredevil type. Like, I'm the type that everybody didn't like because I'm the mouthpiece. So I'm going to do the research. I'm going to tell y'all, like, he's the devil, but they love him so much, you know what I'm saying, that it's me against the pastor. Like, who am I? I did research on him. And he was from Oregon, and he had like some sexual relations in Oregon with some people that he did a church with out there. But I was in my head like, okay, well, these people been here for years before me, so they must know this already. It must be, but a lot of people didn't. So I start telling people like, look, this dude is not right. He's sleeping with people, and then they shunned me. Everybody shunned me. They stopped talking to me. And come to find out, they went to court and he was having people write down like their sexual past, like some of the women in the church, and and I wasn't a part of that. But he would call me heartbreaker and be calling me all these names and telling me like God don't want me in the industry and running me in a certain way to where us just being locked in there till 3 a.m, people was doing weird stuff. Like, they would be like crying and praising God, but like, they would be standing up there for hours. Like, why are we, like, I never felt it. I never got it. I always wanted it. I always wanted the Holy Ghost, or I wanted to shout and speak in tongues. Maybe I'm not there yet. But like, they would stand there for 2-3 hours just crying, or like, and I would be like, is it real though? Because now they're not doing any of that. Maybe they had high hopes for God. And it just didn't come to pass. And I don't want to judge people, but I'm just like, what was that? Like, what were we doing? They were older than us. We were teenagers, like, you know, and then making marriage like the focal point of the church. Just always talking about how to be a woman of God for your man. Or because we got to dance and rap and sing and like be ourselves, you know, people came in there, they did poetry. It was people telling stories about like just crazy stuff that was happening. And my life, my dad went to jail and everything, but like he's a good dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom's a good mom. She struggled like any other mom. She did what she had to do growing up. But I didn't have the stories that some of them kids had. So I felt like I was there for a reason. Like to just, I don't know why sometimes I'm with certain people, but I felt like their stories was just like drastic. Like moms on drugs or just they living situations and stuff like that. Like, you know, I was just fortunate to be middle class. I was not like rich or nothing like that, but I was fine. They actually have a Netflix movie right now. My friends are on there that were in my church, and they're going through the same thing again, but with another person. But it's the same story. It's the same people that I grew up with. They're right now on Netflix. Like they have a movie called Dancing with the Devil, and it's about TikTok dancers going to like this church, and they're my friends that I went to church with from the cult that I was in. So I think if my mom would, I'd be telling her all the time, because she's like, you do too much with God, and you're this and you're that, you're not normal. And I'm like, but you're my mom. So what you should have did was you should have came in that church and snatched me by my ponytail and told me we're going home. You know, you allowed it. Like you allowed, because I think she didn't want to feel like I was being sheltered. Like she liked that I had friends and I was happy. But we was out till 2-3 in the morning. I'm in the 6th, 7th grade. So it's like, you know, it's boys there. It's all men, grown men there, predators. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta kind of, I don't blame my mom. Like I feel like she did the best she could, and she just wanted me to be happy. Like, you know, I see stories like about the Illuminati. I didn't get that far, but I did party with celebrities as a kid. I did take classes with the choreographers that choreograph for the big artists. And I just felt like they don't make a lot of money. So they're like real ego driven. So I feel like the industry is an ego driven place, because if they had the money that they wanted, they probably would still be like Diddy. But I feel like they didn't want nobody to take their spot. That's kind of how everybody acts in Hollywood. Like even like you can't really make friends in the business because everybody is like crabs in a barrel. Like it's not a lot of space for a black girl. Like they might just want one black girl, one Asian girl, one white girl, and you got 1,500 girls out there with different hairstyles, different sizes. If you're not Beyonce height, you're not her width. If you outdance her or you underdance her, or you know what I'm saying, if you're not as big as Lizzo, you know, it's really like you have to be mentally strong to be in the game, because you might be at a million auditions and never be that girl. Or they might have that one girl that's their favorite. And they know they only want one black girl, but they're not going to tell you that. They already know they don't want you, you know? No matter how good you dance. You have to, like, really do a backflip to get those jobs sometimes. And so if you got to know people. I just wish that I knew how to monetize my career. Because even I had a dance studio, too, for 10 years. I started at 19, and I shut it down last year in March, and I'm 32. My whole 20s was my studio. You know, it was my bread and butter. It was everything to me. I got them kids into the Rams Stadium. I got them kids to do the Sparks halftime show. Like, people were starting to call me. Like, big shows like the one we doing that I was telling you about in New York was for them. I had them performing everywhere. Like, we did parades, parks, and then it just grew. It turned into something bigger. And a lot of people were mad at me because they weren't that good when we first started. And they was like, are you serious? Your name is on the line. I'm like, I'm me. Like, you know what I mean? They're going to be good. But I want them to not be scared. Like, you know, by the time they get good, I don't want them to be intimidated by nobody. You know, I want them to get ate up right now, you know. And I was putting them in the biggest, like, our first video that we have online is at the biggest dance event, and they were horrible. They were horrible. I cried. I probably cried for a long time, but that same event is calling me now because they see them now. and they're like, wow, like, look at them, Kiara, like, they look really, really good. And so I knew what I was doing. Even when people was like talking me out of it, I'm like, nah, like, let them have 2 left feet out there. You know, they look cute. Like, but now, come for them now. Like, you know, there was a girl that won this TV show called So You Think You Can Dance. Her name was Sabra. And she only danced for 4 years in college. And she won the show. So you are never too old. You are, you know, you can start young and take a break and come back. It's about you, you know? It's not about, oh, I've been dancing since I was 5, I'm the best. No, because it's some people that started yesterday and they just have more passion, like, you know. So I love to teach. I was teaching at my house with my cousins. It's like, I feel like that's been my gift, like, to be a choreographer. But I love to perform. I like doing other people's stuff too. Like, I love doing other people's, like, being a part of other people's work and seeing where their mind is at and challenging myself in that way too. If you're starting out in the industry, keep your family close, keep God close. Don't say yes just because you want an opportunity. Like, really sit back and think about what you're going to present to your kids when you have kids. Like, are you going to be proud of the jobs that you did? Are you just doing it for the money? Are you going to love yourself after you do, you know, what you're doing? Hey, y'all, at EpicMat, I'm Kiara, and that's my story. God bless.